Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our podcast dedicated to sight reading through the lens of the historically informed performance practice. My name is Darina Blogina, and today it's not about sight reading, it's about visiting a concert, and I have a very special guest in front of me. There's a very outstanding harpsichord player who is also a brother of my former teacher of the Schola Cantorum of Pierre Hantaï. It's a harpsichord player, Pierre Hantaï. Could you please tell about the occasion? Why are you today here?
Well, I'm invited by a young organizer who is doing a festival, and I think he did a few editions already. I didn't know him. He's not really somebody close to the world of ancient music, but we had a good contact, and it's a nice occasion for me to play here. As if I remember well, I used to play only once in Basel, a harpsichord recital decades ago. As it's one of the centers of harpsichord in the world, maybe the most important today, it's important for me to be here.
And what kind of program are you going to perform?
I will play a kind of program of good music that sounds good on the harpsichord that I will have tonight. It's a harpsichord made in a German style after Mitke, and this instrument I discovered this morning, and for this reason I didn't want to give a precise program in advance. I think we announced that I would play some Bach and some Handel, but I think I will add a few more composers. The harpsichord is a bit like organ. They are all very different, even in the same country, in the same maker. In the past, I've tried many experiences on the sound. The best is to play the music, and the instrument choose the program of the concert.
And how did you discover this instrument?
We were looking for good instrument here. There are so many, but most of them are here in the Schola, and it was not possible to have them for a concert outside of the school. So we were looking for good makers in the vicinity, and Markus Krebs is a very good maker, living not far from here, but didn't have any occasion to play his instruments until now. That's why I wanted to discover little bit before choosing the works.
And how is it for you picking out the program so little in advance before the concert? There is not so much time, and maybe you arrived just yesterday.
Yes.
How do you shape your program so little in advance of the concert? Or you already knew the core pieces that you wanted to play, definitely?
Yes, more or less. But I have too many pieces with me that I know and I'm able to play if necessary, and I choose among them. And in fact, we are a few hours before the concert, but I'm not sure what I will play.
That's great. So you kind of come along with your mood in a way.
Yes, but it's also that with long experience now I know that I don't like the way music is usually done here in our time. I mean, in the world of what we call classical music, the way the concerts are organized, the way you present yourself on stage, the way everything is done is not nice. I think if you all listen to any other kind of music, like, I don't know, jazz, rock, chanson, everything, or also the music of Asia or India, you never have a program, for example. You never know what you will listen to. And that's the way music should be done, and that's the way the music I played, music of the time of Bach, was done in his time. You understand that? And it changed slowly in the end of the 18th century, 19th century, slowly. And I think the reason why everything is so organized in advance is the Conservatory.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
Because,
I totally agree.
Yes, because you learn when you start learning in the Conservatory, you have to choose what you will play for your next exam. And then if you are very good, you will play in, international competitions. You know 1 year in advance what you have to play and how you have to play it, and exactly the way you have to be on stage. And everything is cannot change. Yes. And I think the main reason is the organization of the learning music in schools. And as I didn't go to a conservatory or a school, never. I just did like other people until now, but now I feel that I want to change that and to feel more free. If you play in a 5,000 big hall, you need a program, there is no real communication with the audience. But if you have 100 people like we'll have tonight, it's like in a room, it's at home. Yeah. So the spirit should be different.
So you would like to communicate with your audience and you announce?
Yes. There is no reason to have a paper in your hand. If the person is 2 meters from you, the person can speak and say, I will play that now. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
And what do you think about the other ways of presentation? You mentioned that you should look a certain way, so it's all fixed. There is a lot of expectation from, let's say, the audience. How should we deal with that nowadays?
Well, if you go to a piano concert, you will see the people, they all do the same movements. They come on stage, they sit, they wait a few seconds, they look
to the God,
to God, and then they start, and everything is you have seen that for 1 century already. If you do that at home, or if you go to listen to jazz concerts, it won't be like that. It will be more natural. So I don't have any rules for myself, but I want everything to be more natural. Even if I play in a big hall, I try to save something which makes the concert a little bit like at home.
And what do you think, how could we change that within this institution that is a conservatory, that we try to avoid this fixed concert ritual? Would that be possible?
I don't know. I don't know. For me, one of the problem is when you know what you will have to play in a few months. So the program, when it's decided in advance, for me, it's a problem. Mm-hmm. I want to play what I need to play on the moment. Uh-huh. And what I'm practicing and the new pieces I learned recently. And this is more natural.
And do you play everything by heart, or you also have the scores?
Usually I have
you
the
bring
music. Yes. Well,
to the concert,
yes.
The pieces that probably you would like to play tonight. Yeah. And what do you think about this new tendency that people constantly perform their CD programs? So you record the CD.
That's very bad. I never did that. And very often, yes, because it's like I don't know. The recording is like a visit card of the concert. Is I don't understand that. And many organizers, they ask just the program of the recording, but it's not the same. A recording and the concerts are completely different. The perception of the audience is different. So also very often when the organizer of the concert allows me to do it, I play something and then I add something because I feel that this is the moment. I feel the audience, or maybe I feel I was too long or the music was too brilliant and now we need something very soft and it's not written in the program. So I choose something. I think, yes, you have to feel that.
Just thinking how to maybe, because I really love this approach and I think it's very fresh what you say, because the way we are...
Well, it's very old because that's the right way things were done in the past. When Bach never came on stage and he never played harpsichord recital, but the generation after, and Mozart and Chopin, when they played the music, most often the people didn't know the pieces. And sometimes it was written the day before. So it's also a different approach of the music. And now the danger is that we play music that we know so well, all this masterpiece of Bach we heard 100 times, and so the perception is different. So we have to make it fresh. How, I cannot tell you, but you have the musician has to be fresh.
Yeah, I'm just thinking as we are developing within the system of conservatory, and we have to, for our exam, we have to play a Bach sonata, 2 different kinds of traverses.
Yes, well, that's logical. That's logical in the school. I mean, it's a good thing. The problem is when you finish with the school and you start playing concerts, and then you continue the same way as the school does it. So you give your program 1 year before and you know exactly what you play. And things are worse and worse now because what changed in the last years is like, for example, the organizers, they ask the length of the concert and the length of the works. And this is horrible. Because when the music is an art which should make us forget the feeling of time. Music should has his own way of feeling the time, and so you cannot say when it's finished. And it depends how you play, and it depends if the audience want more. Otherwise, it's not a concert.
I'm just really thinking how to make it happen that we get out of the fixed system, because I notice also as the early music field, it becomes more stable field where there are lots of specialists every year. More and more students come out of schools and they form ensembles, and there are more festivals appearing every year. And the field, in a way, becomes more fixed and stable. Maybe that's why these tendencies, they appear that everybody wants to be safe. And I just wonder how to deal with that.
Well, there are always new rules coming, like as I told you, the length of the concert, things like that. Other things are new. We start learning in schools. Is something like moving on stage, how you appear, and that's terrible, I think. There are kind of marketing lessons in some conservatories. I don't know if it's the case here, but I know in main conservatories in Paris, in Amsterdam, so everywhere, there are some lessons with people who explain you how to be on stage and how you present yourself and if you smile or not. So you think to yourself instead of thinking only to the music and the composer. So that's, say, the trahison, treatise of what is our job, is really playing the music of somebody else. And we shouldn't think to something else than the music itself. But I see also that not the schools, but the organizers, the music world, as the musicians to be always more funny.
Yes, more entertaining also.
Entertaining, yes, but funny and look young and amusing.
Yes.
Like classical music, what we call classical music, is not so serious. Also, the photos you see in the programs, everybody's jumping.
Super happy.
It's yes, like adolescents. The world is getting adolescent and not adult.
Yes.
So music is I don't know. Music is also entertainment. Music is divertissement. But music is very serious matter.
In fact, it's very diverse. It can be like in the same suite, you can have different movements also. That could be extremely sad or...
Yes, but I mean, it's a serious matter. We shouldn't send the message to the audience, to the possible audience, that it's funny. It's just funny. Because it's not true. It is serious. Bach music, Mozart's music are very serious.
It's an interesting aspect what you said about the representation of today, that there are always like this image of youth and happiness and everything is so playful and light. But on the other hand, I see, for instance, I have visited an early music summit in December that was happening in Bruges. And I heard some criticism that there was like not enough of young musicians presented in the panel discussion. So it's kind of a difficult dynamic goes on.
Yes, but I hope in the panel of the discussion there were some good specialists. And the question of be young or be male or female or something else is not the goal. It's to learn something. I play music for a long time, and I always seen with my colleagues in the orchestra disparity. Always, since I've started. But we didn't count every man or every woman. But one day there were more men or more women. But it was always the case. But maybe it's very special in Baroque music. So when they oblige us, it's really painful. When the politics oblige you, because they have to do this work for themselves. But I had recently, I was invited by a colleague in a festival in France to play the Goldberg Variations. And this guy invited me because he knows me, he likes how I play this work. And then concert was cancelled, or not the concert, but I was thrown and replaced by a woman playing the Goldberg Variations. Because somebody, but I suppose in the politic area, looked at the festival and said, there are not enough women in the programmation, so just throw some people. So maybe it was more difficult to throw a man from a string quartet and to replace it. It was impossible. So they have thrown a soloist. This is too far. I mean, it's not.
And what do you think about the musicians' rights in the early music field? For me, it seems that our field is still, it's younger than the contemporary music field in a way. And in terms of rights, that we know what we should count on in terms of playing in a group or in an ensemble, that these cases don't happen. Somehow we are a bit behind with these regulations, and I was wondering how can we catch up with this administration point that we feel safe in our field?
Things change for some reason in the right way and for other reason in the wrong way. You don't have to adapt, but just to play music as well as you can. And it's more difficult. When I started, I was very young. There were no other young harpsichordists like me. It was not easy to find some work, but it was so much easier than today. Now there are many
yes,
people playing
many
ancient
talented
music.
people,
Yes,
partly
absolutely. Yes,
well-educated people with good taste.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how do you think it's going to develop?
Well, it will develop if there are more concerts for everybody. But otherwise, I don't know.
From the perspective of a musician, of a young musician that is, for instance, starting now, what you see now a lot, how younger musicians should deal with this difficult situation when they should make their way somehow, and not many of them will make this way.
I don't have an answer. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm asked, but I don't know. I never thought when I was young, shall I be a musician, a professional musician or not? I didn't think about it. I just play.
So it kind of, you didn't know where it will take you, this journey. You just started and you were playing, and now you're here.
I was at the right moment also. It was good because I met wonderful people, and like the Leonard and the Kuikens brothers, and they invited me to play with them, and so I had a lot of work. But before that, I was just organizing with my brother our own concerts in Paris, just renting a church and doing everything. But it was still possible to do that. And now I think there are so many rules and bureaucracy that you cannot do very simply music.
Yes. You need a recording, you need a CD or a good video.
Yes, but if you want to do some music in your salon with, I don't know, a few dozens of persons, you invite them and you ask a little bit of money to pay the everything you have to organize. It is possible. I think you can do a few times a year. But all these small organizations, and they were very important, that we are organizing concerts, all these small organizations of people who were not professional, but who loved music and who were organizing everything in order to have a few concerts in a year. They had so many. Now they have so many difficulties to do that.
Yes.
They have to look for some subsidies, and the whole year it's too heavy for them. So now there are only real professional people who organize music, and that's sad.
Have you ever struggled with gathering an audience to your concert? You organize a concert and you are not sure how many people will come. Have you thought of that, or it was just like, doesn't matter how many come?
No, it was important because I invited some friends to play music and I wanted to give some money to them. So we hoped that there would be some people.
Yes, I think now it's also the question how many people will come, and people constantly struggle with this, how to attract the audience to the concert.
Yes, but there are too many people who organize the concerts now. I mean, they are directors of theaters, of festival seasons, of I don't know, and they don't know really music. They do that, but they learn in schools of I don't know organization, communication, all that stuff which is not art, and also record companies. Most of them are directed by people who are not lovers of music, and that's very different from the past. Mm-hmm. In the past, people knew and they wanted to have this guy because this one is not famous, but he plays well, and then they knew who they had to invite and show to their audience, to present to their audience. Now they just, I don't know, I'm not sure they have this culture of. That's why you see almost the same musician in every festival, and with the same photo where they jump with nice colors and they look very, very young and funny, and they are obliged to do that. Otherwise, they don't have the concert. And at the same time, the jazz musicians, they are black and white photos, and they are very dark and very serious. So it's just stupid. It's communication. It's marketing. But we are not marks of toothpaste, or I don't know.
Luckily not.
We are lovers of music, and we want to show it to the audience in the best way.
What do you think about playing the same piece over and over again, like Johannes Passion or something, a piece that it's a great piece, but so many orchestras play it every year for Easter?
Well, it's wonderful that Bach is still alive that way. It's a good thing. But it's a problem that we played so many times the same pieces because it never happened in the history of music before 20th century. So something, it tells something, but what? I don't know. But we prefer to live in the past of art, of profound art. I suppose we feel that something is past, and we prefer to return to that.
But you can again every year, if audience wants to hear this Johannes Passion or Matthäus Passion or Christmas Oratory for Christmas, of course. And I was thinking how to deal with this process when, on one hand, the audience would like to hear that, and they buy tickets to this kind of concerts willingly, and they come. And on the other hand, there are so many interpretations of those pieces, and there are more coming every year. And at some point, I feel inside of myself also that the piece is kind of vanishing away from reality somehow. Because people that come with new interpretations, they want to do something new. And
yes. And
let's play everything fast.
Most of the time, well, I don't know many versions of Matthew Passion, but most of the time they just lost the religious feeling. That's what I hear. In the recent years, I heard that the level of the musicians, I mean the instrumentist, is better and better due to the fact that in the 60s, 70s, all that people started playing on some trumpets and violin and didn't know how to use it. Now people play much better. So you can listen to B minor mass with wonderful wind players and horns and everything. But most of the time I prefer anything I heard before the 60s or the 70s.
Really?
Even on modern instruments sometimes.
What are your favorite recordings?
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. I heard very good thing of René Jacobs very often because he's visiting the works very deeply. But I mean, also for the for the solo music, sometimes I prefer to listen to Bach on the piano than Bach played on harpsichord.
Yes.
When it's not deep enough, it's not good for me. And religious music has a special meaning. It has a very special meaning for Bach. And all his solo music is also religious, because we know better and better that he put so many symbolic things inside, and for him it was very important to use that while composing, even if he didn't tell us that he just had hidden many things inside the music. It was not for us, it was between him and God. But when we play that music, we have to be closer to his mind. That's the main point, to be close to the idea of the composer while composing. And not be, because we are interprets, what we call interprets. And the musical world today is made of interprets. And that's very special. The way we look to the music, especially old music, because we don't know how to play it, but we try to know, it's a different vision than the person of this time. And a different vision than the composer had, because he had an idea and he didn't think, how should I play it?
And the context of the time was different, and people
the
were
context
thinking
of the
in a
time,
different way.
yes. But the context of the birth of the music is different.
And actually, they always played contemporary music of their time. They did not really play so much early music of their time. They studied a lot of Renaissance.
Bach was one of the people who played more ancient music than other people. He was really interested, but the past for him was 1 century, maybe, not more, I don't know. But yes, it was music of their time, so it was different.
Well, yes, great. Thank you very much. So maybe we finish on this note. What do you think?
Yes. Why not?
It was a very philosophical talk. I really asked you some questions that were very different.
Okay, yes. Now I'm sure I won't have subsidies from
no.
any government.
No, I'm sure.
But I don't need. I never had.
That's good. Good point.